Good morning. It's Wednesday. Good morning, good morning. We'll wait for that bat signal to go up. Active participation. Those are my words today. We're very Kuan Yin-ish again today. Kuan Yin seems to be my right hand guide. So we're going to talk a little more Kuan Yin today. We did card readings yesterday for Kuan Yin. It was really beautiful. We may do that again. We'll see how things go. Hi, Robert Dosa. Good morning. How are you today? I obviously have, excuse me, the window's open. You can always tell because that pollen just immediately says, okay, here I am. It's okay. It's all right. We'll clear up. Good morning. Good morning. I see you guys coming in. It's all about active participation today. Those are our words. That's what just came to me as I sat down. I'm like, okay, what is it today? Active participation. Good morning, Carol and Ellen. How are you this morning? I don't know about you guys, but because time is such a weird thing anymore and none of it seems to make sense, I don't know when to go to bed and I don't know when to wake up anymore. I go to bed at the wee hours in the morning sometime, and then I'll wake up in the middle of the night 3 or 4 hours later, and then I'm awake, and then I'm asleep, and then I'm awake, and I don't know about you guys. And when it's finally time to get up, I'm like, I'm just too tired. It's been way too much activity. I need to get a handle on that, I think. Good morning, Melanie. Good morning. It's all about active participation. I keep saying that. And the reason that I say that is because I pulled a Kuan Yin card again, and it's one of my favorite cards. And as I was reading the words, I was like, oh, ding, ding, ding. There it is. There's always something new. These cards, when you're playing, with Oracle cards, it's as if at one moment you can read all the information, and then the next moment you read it, or 6 months later, or whatever, and a different message comes through. So I caught a different part of it today. Yeah, time is relative, that's for sure. Maybe it's irrelative. Is that a word? It's starting to all melt into one. And I know for me that means there's a lot of confusion. It's like my ADHD kind of brain is going bing, 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 bing all over the place. It can't seem to settle in and say, no, we're just going to work on this right now. I want to do that. I want to do that. I want to do that. And I think here, as it starts to come through, I think a lot of that is because we're becoming more of our higher selves, or are beginning to come down, filter into this existence. The higher self is unlimited. If you think about somebody stepping out of physical form, they don't have any more limitations. And so we, that was weird. Sorry. So as we allow more of that energy to come in, we are getting, somebody must be sharing. Aha, that's what's going on. I'm like, well, what's going on here? I'm seeing all these weird things pop up. Good morning, Imagination of Becoming Network. So there is an integration that's going on within us, trying to understand, trying to really, make sense out of all of this. Not only are we still in physical form, but we have to somehow create this new existence where we are in physical form and we have that unlimitedness within us. So the card that came up for me today is one that came up in the card readings yesterday, is Weave the Future Golden. And there's a part of that really spoke to me this morning, because it says to pull, let me use the exact wording so I don't mess it up. I can mess things up like this really easily. Something good is coming your way. Kuan Yin urges you to weave your future into the present moment. That's the part that got me. Weave your future into the present moment. To call in and draw to you the opportunities, the teachings, circumstances, and synchronicities waiting for you that will enable your soul to live its divine destiny with greater abundance, bliss, and creative fulfillment. And isn't that what we all want? We want all of that. So yeah, Carol, it's one of my favorite cards when it comes up, because the reason why it was really pulling me in today is, okay, I like the idea of the Weaver, one of my favorite series of books, and I've been watching the TV show, and it can be a little violent, and sometimes I don't like it, but I was really drawn to this series of books, A Discovery of Witches. And Diana, who is the main character, by the way, She weaves her spells, and you can see her. She takes these golden like cords, and she pulls them, and then she'll tie them into little pretty bows, or she'll weave them together. And I know that we're drawn to certain books for a reason. Even if they're fiction, we're drawn to it because it's trying to tell us something. And I can see through watching that. The book was interesting, but then watching the show and watching the way she's pulling them out and tying them together, I feel like that's what this card looks like to me, is that if you consider all of the many lifetimes, I'm going to go into the rabbit hole, if you consider all of the many lifetimes that you are now living, so there's no time, there's no past, there's no future. So all of that is going on is actually happening right now, which is why we're so affected. We're like, why do people go back to that past life so much? Because literally, time is melting away. It's a man-made construct. And so those things that happened, maybe in our very linear way of thinking, happened 150 years ago, 300 years ago, however many years ago, are now becoming more to the forefront. It's actually all now. There is no past. There is no, oh, that happened in a past life, you got to let it go. It's really just happening right now. A part of you is going through that in another dimension. A part of you is going through those things right now. So those things, they reverberate into our current existence. And we have to be really careful, really mindful of not allowing those emotions, those things. I know for me, I can get triggered by things that don't even exist in this lifetime. You know, like how something happens and I'm like, bing, I want to go into, my emotions want to flop over into that other dimension. It literally is because of all of our growth right now that we're becoming more and more unlimited. And as we do, we're beginning to see those things. It's like your Akashic records are just opening up to you. They're just like flowing freely and you're seeing them in your visions. And you might think, well, that means this or that, you know, whatever. It just is open. It doesn't have to mean anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be resolved. It's just that you're able to experience these things. And so being careful to not pull too much emotion into it, being careful to not give it too much of your energy. When I talk about active participation, you want to make sure that you're participating in a positive manner, right? Right now it's really important. So if our past is all open to us, then our future is all open to us too. Good morning, Angel. So if our future is all open to us too, then in this lifetime we are living right now, we have all of it right here available to us. See what I mean about active participation? I can keep on going. There is a thought process here that's important for us to all grasp. So you've been asking for abundance. You've been asking for bliss. You've been asking for love. You've been asking for all of these things. And whenever we ask, we always receive. It's just a matter of us letting go of the resistance that keeps us from receiving those things that we really, really want to have happen in this existence. You are actively participating, whether you want to admit that, whether you want to take that responsibility or not. Every human on the planet is actively participating in this current experience that we are having. And so take that a step further and say, okay, then if I am one of the creators here, if I am creating these circumstances in my life, then I can actively create. I can actively pull in the parts that I really, really desire in this lifetime. So I desire abundance. I desire bliss. I desire love. I desire friendship. I desire, all these beautiful things. And I know that you do too. So if I'm sitting here and I'm feeling alone and I'm not really doing anything other than just sitting around going, why aren't things coming into my world? I've asked for them and I'm just sitting here. Let me remind you that you are an active participant here. You're not one of the spectators in a baseball game. You are out there playing the game. And you need to remember that. Don't just sit there and wait for the universe to come along and say, okay, I'm going to do this for you because you asked. Well, yes, you do have lots of assistance, but you also need to put forth that energy. Not necessarily that effort, because effort is beautiful and it's a great way of getting things done. But in this manifestation game, it's all about the energy. What kind of energy are you putting out? What are your emotions? Where are they leading you? Are your emotions pushing that dream away from you? Because that's resistance. It's basically you taking the oars back into your own hand and saying, well, my big old ship or little dinghy, whatever you got, and I can be a little dinghy sometimes, is going right on down through the water, and it's doing really well by itself. But instead of going down that way and allowing myself to just kind of get into the flow of life, I'm going to pick up those oars again, and I'm going to start, paddling my way to see maybe what I want is up that way or over there. Maybe I don't trust enough to allow this little craft, this little watercraft to go where it needs to go. Maybe I'm going to try to direct it again. And in that moment of resistance, you have then created a wall against that thing that you've asked for. Is that simple enough? So it's difficult for us. This is a difficult thing for us to grasp. It's so simple that it's almost impossible for people to understand. It is making a very clear idea, path, picture, painting, whatever, of drawing, writing, of exactly what it is that you would like to achieve, where it is that you would like to be going. And then it's being in stillness and not trying to control it. Don't try to control it. It's going to go where it needs to go. You have now created the energy. As you sat there and you used your imagination and you decided how you wanted things to go, it was going to go because you created the energy of it. Especially the more imagination, the more energy you put into it, the more easily it's going to manifest. And then what you did was you said, well, but what about this? But that could happen. But what about those people? What if that person does that? Resistance, you should be, as soon as you say but, that should be the big red flag. Buts are big red flags. They say, okay, now you're resisting the flow. You've let yourself fall out, because however other people on the planet react to life, to different experiences, is their thing. Their circus, their monkeys, they get to react, they get to have whatever experience they choose to have. And they can make their lives just as difficult as they want, and you don't have to be a part of that. So as you're creating this beautiful vision of your life, are you going to then stop and go, but here's an important one, okay? And I am a pro at this. I'm creating my existence. I'm sitting there, I've got this huge imagination I can create like you wouldn't believe. And then I've created it, and I know exactly where I'm headed, and I sit back and I relax and I get into stillness. And then all of a sudden I go, wait, what about that? What about that ducky? I start counting my duckies again. I have a lot of duckies. I brought a lot of duckies into the world. And I go, okay, well, I want this. And then I go, okay, but where can I start putting my duckies? Do I need to pull my duckies along with me? Or are my duckies with me? Or am I leaving them behind, kind of stuff? That is resistance on my part. And if you guys have duckies and you're so worried about your duckies that you will stop that flow of energy so that you can turn around and look for the duckies, there's resistance in that. And it doesn't mean that we just cut our loved ones off, we never speak to them again. It just means that we don't allow our loved ones to affect the path that we're on, the journey. We allow them to float around in their own little dinghies. I love the word dinghy. We're going to let them float around in their own little dinghies doing their own thing. And maybe they have a little storm sometimes. Maybe they run into some big storms. They are here to experience their own storms. We can't save them from all of their storms. They have to have their storms too. Because if we save them from all their storms, they're not going to have the soul growth that they came here to have. So it's all about letting, yes, so the duckies are the butt. Exactly. I'm so glad that you're with me. The duckies are the butt, the big red flag. I'm going to try to make sense out of that. Thank you for that, though. It's fun. So, yes, dinghies, butts, red flags, duckies. Do you got it? Are you with me? Start making notes. Not necessarily in that order either. It is, the truth is, the bottom line is, you are an active participator in your current experience. Write that down, that's important. I am an active participator in my current experience. I get to choose which direction I want my life to go. I get to choose. If I'm ready to claim that abundance, I can weave my future golden. I can pull that future. I know that I've already asked for it, so it's there. It's down my river a little ways. It's out in the ocean, floating around, all of that abundance that I've been asking for and creating energetically for so long. It's just out there waiting for me to let go long enough to reach it. And so now I'm going to be that active participator. I'm going to see myself weaving. Weave your future golden with that beautiful imagination of yours, with your stillness, with your letting go of the idea that you always have to do. You don't always have to do. I realize we're still physical and we have to do things, but we don't have to force our creation to fit together. It's a puzzle. And if you try to force those pieces together, they bend all up. They don't go where they're supposed to go. You don't have all the pieces yet. You can't necessarily make it complete. So why not just relax? The pieces will come when they're ready. And they'll come more quickly when we let go of trying to force pieces into the wrong places. When we just allow, a lot of it is really active participation, is really creating energetically and knowing that that energetic creation will become physical when we let it. Hear that one phrase. Active creation is believing in ourselves enough so that we create it energetically, and we know that when something is created energetically, it always becomes physical. It will become physical. It'll sit right there as long as we let it. Maybe I should say it that way. As long as we let it, it becomes physical. And oftentimes we stop it with our thought processes, with those thoughts of, we don't believe that we're good enough. We don't think that, we deserve to have that. Whatever. Those are the things that create the resistance that stops us from attaining that thing that we really want. And what is the one thing that we all really, really want in life? And I will guarantee you that it's the simplest answer ever. It's the simplest answer ever. I promise you. It really, every being on the planet just wants that unconditional love. We have it. We are it. We are unconditional love when we come to the planet. If you look at that newborn baby, they know. They know who they are. They are unconditional love. And we want to create that energy of unconditional love here on the planet. That's all we really want. As light workers, that's all we really came here to do. Let's create unconditional love here on the planet. Let's start moving out of those negative energies that pull us into sadness, depression. I will tell you, it is the most amazing experience this morning. It's so tiny. It's a minute second of my lifetime every morning when I go, okay, Archangel Michael, I am a mess this morning. Please come in and sever, remove any cords or attachments, anything that is not my own, please, please. And all of a sudden, my heart goes, like it just did again, my heart just goes, open, open. And then I can just float on down that lazy river again. I don't gotta try to fix it. I don't gotta try to drag anybody along with me. I don't need to reach out to people and hope that they might love me. I don't have to keep playing those games that we do when we're human. We just know that we are love. And that everything that we've ever asked for and everything that we've ever dreamt of, and the most important being unconditional love, is right there ready for us at any point as soon as we ask. That's the one thing. I mean, I know that we get hung up on, but I want this and I want this and I want this. I could do this if I had that. All those little details, those physical things. But the one thing that you really want is readily available to you at any moment that you ask for it. It's that unconditional love. It comes in, it flows in like a river right through you, right on through. And all you got to do is lay your resistant little hands down. Stop pushing it away. Just say, nope, I'm just going to accept. Okay, angels, come on in. And they just go, okay, here we are. Here we are. We don't need to bring you all kinds of, they will, but they don't need to bring me all kinds of stuff. All I really want, all I really long for is the same thing that you really long for. I just long for that unconditional love. So just stop trying so hard to find what it is that you think that you're supposed to have or is supposed to be. You've already got it. That's the bottom line. You've already got it. And at any moment when you forget that you are unconditional love, you have all this beautiful team around you to remind you that you already are love. You've already attained it. You don't need to keep looking for it. It's already there. So I hope you get that today. Make a note of that. You already got it. You already are love. Let's remember it for a few minutes together, okay? Can I take you into some imagination? Can I allow you to feel, hi Julie Kiss, good morning. Can I allow you to feel that energy of love that the angels bring? Good morning, Tammy Fisk. I saw you, angel. All you beautiful people. I'm so grateful for you guys coming in again, Melanie. I think I said good morning. Good morning to all of you. So we're going to go into a nice time of just, we're not calling it meditation anymore. I don't know about you guys, but I'm tired of the word meditation. I call it stillness. Stillness feels better to me. Will you be still with me for a few minutes? Just be still. Doesn't need a fancy name. It's just being still. We are allowing our souls to connect, reminding one another that we are all unconditional love, sending out unconditional love to each one of you. So let's do that together. Put your feet on the ground, on the floor, wherever you are. Imagine your feet bare on the earth. If you look down at your feet, you can see them. You can see them with your third eye imagination. You go, oh, there's my feet. I often see my feet being very much darker skin tone than this very white skin tone that I've got. I see them on hard-packed earth. We have walked on that hard-packed earth many, many times. All of us gathering together for over a year now. We've been walking in this one place, and we're going to go back. Yes, stillness. Thank you, Carol. So we're going to take some time now to experience this is really heaven. We are, to the best of our ability, as we are, imagination of becoming, thank you. To the best of our ability, it is remembering who we really are when we gather like this, because you are heaven, and you are the feeling of heaven, and the feeling of heaven is nothing but absolute, total, pure, unconditional, most beautiful experience of love that you can ever think of, you can ever imagine. And that's you. So as you pull in your higher self now, seeing those feet rooted perfectly to the earth, calling in Archangel Michael to lift away right now, lift away any heavy energy that you may have around you within your auric fields and around your auric fields within your home, around your home on your land, anyone that's in your home, your pets, anything. Anywhere there's negative energy around you right now that's affecting you, we're asking Archangel Michael to bring in a whole team of angels to clear that away so that you can sit here right now feeling pure and clean, feeling the energy that you are, allowing your higher self to come into the room, into that beautiful circle, that dirt path that we like to walk down. And as we circle around the fire pit together, I want you to see yourself now. Use your imagination. You have a quill and you have a piece of parchment paper. And we have a gentle fire burning in the center of our circle. And I want you to think now for just a minute, what is it in your life that is creating that resistance to everything that you've ever wanted, everything that you've ever asked for? What is that one thing that keeps holding you back? And whatever that is, when it comes to you, I want you to take that quill and write it down on that parchment paper. So take just a minute to let it come through. Hi, Laura. Good morning. I got my word. So I see myself writing it down in beautiful cursive. F-E-A-R. That's my word. F-E-A-R. And I'm not going to qualify it with anything else. It's just anything that comes from fear holds me back. So I've written it down. And when you write it down, I want you to play a little game with me. I want you to just take it over. Are you willing to release that? Are you willing to let that go to the best of your ability? Are you ready to let it go? And if you are, I want you to imagine yourself walking over to that fire. And I want you to just drop that parchment paper into the fire. And as you do, you see these little bursts of colored flames, smoke come up out of it. It's like, feel the weight of it lift off your shoulders and off of your heart. And we're asking Archangel Michael for anything that is attached to that thing that you just released, any residual energy, to go ahead and clear that away now so you can just stand up straight and tall. Feel yourself just going straight and tall. Lift it away. Feels so good. And now each one of you, allow for source energy to come down over your crown. Let's see a giant hand coming down over each one of you. And it's just raining down this beautiful unconditional love. And it comes down through your crown. And it's just going to wash you clean today. Baptism in unconditional love. Just comes down and washes down over the top of each one of us. And it washes away any negativity, anything. You just release your hands, open them up, and let your feet relax. Relax your shoulders. The more you relax, the more the energy just flows right on through. God is so powerful and yet so unconditionally loving. That's how I see the creator of all. Unconditional love. Always there, ready to give. So let it flow down through every cell of your body, every one of your chakras, every organ, every muscle, every joint, every part of you being cleansed and healed now. There's this beautiful light right above you. If you look up, you can see. It's beautiful. And each one of us has a beautiful guide standing by our side. And if you turn to the right a little bit, you may catch a glimpse of who's standing beside you. It may be a loved one. Who do you sense is there? It may be an angel, maybe Kuan Yin. Could be an ascended master, Metatron, Saint Germain. Trying to see who else I see. Archangel Michael is just having a little party. Very active. Archangel Uriel, Gabriel, Raphael, Metatron, Melchizedek, Mother Mary. That one makes me cry. Mother Mary, I see her. Jesus. It's like this huge party going on around us now. They're just gathering. They're just coming into the space as you all stand there. Mary Magdalene. As you stand there, they're just coming in. Circling around you, ancestral energy. All these ancestors coming in around the backs of us. Reminding us of who we are. I want you to do something. And this was not my idea. I want you to turn around now. They're all circling around behind you. They're just all standing. And I want you to see them as they kneel before you. Just stay there standing. I know they seem powerful. I know it seems a little hard to believe that they would kneel down before you, but they do. They're thanking you. They know what a job this is. They know it's so difficult and so painful sometimes. And they need you here now. And they're grateful to you for everything that you're doing. They're grateful for the way that you give so much of yourself. For just being here in this energy now. Holding the light for the world. And now one of them steps forward. And as you reach your hand out, they lay a gift in your hand. And if you close your eyes, you can imagine the weight of it. Imagine the color. Maybe you can see it clearly. Maybe you just feel the weight of it in your hand. Whatever experience you're having. Good morning, Lauren. Whatever experience you have, just enjoy that experience. And you're going to bring it back. And I see many, many crowns. I see a crown, and some of you are tipping your head forward like this, and they're just laying that crown on your head. Feel the weight of that crown. Maybe a scepter in your hand and a cape around your shoulders. They're reminding you of your royal heritage, of your magnificence, of the power that you hold. You are an active participant here. No more playing small. You can't play small. They're opening it up to you right now. They're giving you the keys to the kingdom. Feel that energy flow. It's coming back up through the earth now. Cleansing, cleansing, cleansing. It's beautiful. It's all fully recycled, coming all the way back up through your feet. Right through the centers, if you can feel that energy. And then open up your hands and feel the energy right in the centers of your hands, your healing hands. That Christ white light consciousness that comes on through. Feel that weight in your hands, the gifts that you are receiving now, the abilities that are being enhanced. You're not going to come away from this the same person as you were when you came in. Take a big breath, breathe all that energy in. Wow, thank you. They're so giving this universe, these loved ones. Enjoy that feeling. If the one thing that you're receiving today is unconditional love, it's the one thing that you long for the most. And you know that. Whatever goes on in your physical life, you are love. The most important thing that you can receive today. So as they start to back away, they've given you gifts and they're starting to back away, and they're thanking you and congratulating you for making another step, for another big growth spurt, for making it through, for sticking around. And I thank you too for that. We're thanking all the ascended masters. We're thanking your higher selves. Thanking Jesus and God, Source, whatever you'd like to call that creator energy. Archangel Michael, always Jesus. Steve, who else is here? Bill. So much love. Thank you to all of the ancestors. And to all of you, to your higher selves, I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Pull that energy back into your feet. Feel it come back up your legs as you start to come back into your awareness. Up to your knees, all the way up your thighs, into your spine, pulling that energy up. Just take a big breath and pull all the way up. All that beautiful kundalini, pulling all the way. As high as you can. Beautiful. That is beautiful. And when you're ready, you can start to come back into your physical awareness, pulling all that with you, asking Archangel Michael to protect each one of you today, wrapping you up in a bubble of bliss. Bliss bubbles all around. I love you guys so much. So welcome. So welcome. Please take good care of yourselves today. That was a beautiful experience. I appreciate you so much for joining me. I hope that you'll be back with me tomorrow morning. You're so welcome. Enjoy your day today. Take that love with you today. Be in your bliss bubble. Don't let anything pull that bliss away from you. It's all yours to keep. Caroline, a colorful band with eagle feathers for a crown. That's perfect for you. Exactly perfect for you. I love that that's what you received. Well done. Good, Melanie. So glad you've enjoyed that. Please enjoy your day today. I love you guys so much. I'm going to let you get on. You're so welcome, Carol. I will talk to you guys soon. Take good care.